57 drivers have competed over the course of 8 rounds in this season of the Apex Racing League Prototype Championship. Tonight we hold our season finale live on Apex Racing TV. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick and I have alongside me for the 9th time this season, it is David Sampson, and we have our 2 classes to decide who our champions are going to be this season. That will be all decided in a few hours' time. David, we head to Red Bull Ring, and yeah, it is the closure of this season. They usually race by, do these series. I think this one certainly applies to that.
Yeah, it's been gripping. It has gone quick. 9 weeks? Yeah, no, it does. Feels like 4 at tops. But Red Bull Ring, I like this track. I don't think it's the most widely loved track. Bit of like the Marmite analogy. You either love it or hate it. No one's like, Red Bull Ring's okay. The off tracks can be brutal. It is a technical track. It's fast. There are overtaking spots, but there's usually big sausages as well. So yeah, I like this track, but it's demanding for sure.
It is. I haven't raced around here that much, honestly, myself. I only joined the sim a couple of years ago and haven't had much of a chance. But yeah, it does divide opinion. I know a few of these drivers who take part in this series were not especially looking forward to this round, but some of them who maybe have been able to put in the practice might be looking a little bit stronger. We just had a look at the calendar for this season, of course, the final round 9 of the season to close it all up. And well, let's have a little bit of a look back at some of the best moments from this season. This first one, David, I think the best round of the championship was Road Atlanta. It was earlier on in the season, and the thing I remember about that race was the LMDH lead battle, how we had, I think, 4 of them over the course of the race. Obviously, we had the classic Marteau getting wiped out on lap 1, which became very much a staple of the early part of the season. This was some of the footage of it. And yeah, it was just quite a chaotic race, and I think one that I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Road Atlanta is the best. It is the best track. Good for racing. It's a short, tight track. Very demanding. Again, has some of the Red Bull Ring traits, but it's great for multi-class racing, and we saw that at this track. But yeah, would have been nice to see Marteau not having to just do his typical fight back through and have him there from the beginning. But yeah, I really did enjoy this race.
Yeah, we had Kraft spin out. We had Viella spin out from the lead as well. And it ended up being this man, Nick Madsen, of course, former Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup champion, some 3.5 years ago, I think now, but has won many races since then, and that was his first race in the prototypes, managing to win out on this one. Your favourite moment was a fair bit different.
Correct.
It was Paul Busby and his whiteboard, the comedic duo of the season.
100%. I mean, he reached out to us lonely commentators from the rig. Yeah, it was a standout moment for me.
This is how it started, and you know, we thought, how good would it be if he used that whiteboard? And there it was. He put Nihao on it. This is a larger version of it. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what he has on his board for this week. I quickly checked to see if he is around. He is around, so if Paul hasn't put something on there,
he's scrambling.
We would like that.
He's going to write drive-through.
Drive-through, yeah.
This is going to be a tough race. I mean, IMSA's, what, 45 minutes? And I'd say my average, and I'm technically good at this track, was 8.
Yeah.
And these guys have got to go an hour on 20. And it's last round. Lots more to play for. I don't know. It is tricky. You can get 4 in 1 lap before you know who you are. And then, yeah. And then if your tyres go off. Oh, he's got a message for us tonight. He's in chat. That's good.
Wonderful stuff. This is the stuff that we expect from Paul, and maybe you could get some bonus points in the championship just for doing these good greetings. Speaking of the championship, we have our points going into this round. Now, what I would say is that it is fairly settled, most of these championships. And when I say most, I mean all, if I recall correctly. Maybe the teams might be a bit mixed up. But when it comes to the pros, Marteau's basically got it locked down. In the pros, I say, because he is the most amount of points you can score for a meeting is 50, and he's 56 clear of Kraft. So even if Kraft scored 56 or scored 50, he would still be 6 short. So that's looking very good for Mate.
Battle behind is close.
Battle behind is very close.
6 points for P2 from P5, is that? Wow.
Yeah. And Aaron Smith's been in good form.
He has.
Back of that.
He has. He's been hunting. By the end of every race, he's coming. Usually his starts, I've noticed, not the best or just unlucky, but doesn't always seem to move forward. But mid part to late part of the race, he's the man on the move, usually getting his pit stop right and coming through strong.
In the Amateur Championship, Velasquez has been dominating from start to finish. He's actually second place out of the drivers overall. He's done that well, so he's miles ahead of the likes of Favaro and Hutchinson and co. And so yeah, he's not going to be caught. Is Trotsky? He could still win the overall, could Trotsky? If he wins and Marteau doesn't finish, then Trotsky could win. So that's the incentive for Marteau to drive.
Wow, he has drove brilliantly as Trotsky. Yeah, he's been a standout all season long.
Yeah, really.
But Favaro's fought really well, considering the level of pace Trotsky's had, the amount of points Favaro's been picking up, and again, usually qualifying almost in the top 6, top 5 every race, including the pros. It's impressive.
The teams is still very much alive, and this one has been tightening up recently. Dawson and Marteau have been accumulating a lot of points recently. They got up to second place in the championship. They now sit 31 points behind Effect Simulations. So that one could definitely change by the end of tonight. Is it Cullen and Busby?
No, not Cullen. Joshua, Wilson, and Busby. There is another one, and Ben, and then Cullen. Yeah, there's
Cullen,
3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them.
But I think only the top 2 score points.
Exactly. Yeah. So could change rounds if Races Clutch get another 1-2, which frankly they've been eating up for fun recently. In the LMP3s, again, Dan Sedgley has got this one in the bag. He's been dominant. Really hope to see Adam State. I'm not sure if we are going to see Adam State tonight, unfortunately, but he dominated last time. It's just a bit of a shame that State hasn't been able to produce that this whole season. Otherwise, it would have been very close to Sedgley. Yeah,
we always noticed that State's 1-lap pace was very strong, was standout. Sedgley maybe on 1-lap pace isn't the strongest of the 3, but far and large was the strongest of the drivers. The most consistent, least mistakes, best strategies. Yeah, staying out of trouble. Sedgley always was up there.
Yeah, podium in every round so far this season.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, very unflappable. In the teams championship for the LMP3s, Olympus Esports have pretty much been leading from the get-go, and yeah, over double the amount of points. So that one's certainly not going to change. Maybe Delta V Racing might lose out to Whipperman Racing come the end of the season. But we've already chatted a little bit about it already. Red Bull Ring, our host for this finale of this season 6 of the Apex Racing League Prototype Championship. Turn 1, David, a bit of a tricky one on the race dice. Such a pinch point.
It is. It really is a tricky corner. Second gear in the DH is no idea the LMP3s, but it's just about timing it right. You don't want to be locking up. You do want to grab the inside, but not too much that you touch a sausage. And then it's a long run down to 2, so you want to get on that throttle early, but you do have to be cautious of the sausage on the exit. So it's a nice feeling when you nail it. Oh, another thing to look out for in the race. The exit curb, I don't know if it's just an LMDH thing, because this is their, pretty much their first season there. Running along it, the entirety of it can sometimes pull your car left. I have seen 4 or 5 cars this week be pulled into the wall on the left-hand side, and they were just casually opening up.
Yeah, that's yeah. Watch out for that one. Might be a case as well for the LMP3s, and as turn 5, the middle part of the lap very different to the rest of it. It really does flow a lot. Turn 6, the easy, that's out turn 7, and then I guess the most tricky place to deal with the off tracks, I guess, is it the penultimate corner or is it the final corner?
The penultimate, I think. Well, yeah, the penultimate. It can happen so easily, and sometimes it's being safe around traffic. You get it by getting safe. The last corner, I think, especially in the LMDH, is easier to handle because it's got the aero. But these off tracks are everywhere. You have to be concentrating. That's one thing I've found racing ahead this week. You've got to be concentrating because a fast lap is running up to them, but 4x lap if you're not concentrating.
And clarify for us where's the limits as well for those final 2 corners.
So in the penultimate, as your car flies out to the red, you've got the asphalt, the curbing, and then it goes red. You can actually run half to the red, so it's far. I think there's yellow and red. I forget the colours. We have to hopefully see it on one of the cameras soon. But it's halfway to the red, which is peculiar. If it's your first time there, you can tell because some drivers aren't going out near, like car and a half lengths width enough. On the exit, it's similar, but it's a different colour. I forget the colour, but it's halfway off again, off the curbing. So it's really far off the track. I think that's what invites all these off tracks.
Yeah, it's not clear. I don't know why they made it. I mean, I understand if it's not the white line, but if just the curb, you got to keep a wheel within the curb, and that would make sense. It's very unclear. Hopefully we'll figure it out by the end of the evening, and hopefully not too many drivers get drive-through penalties either. But we will transfer over to qualifying. We'll go for a quick break beforehand, then we'll be trackside for this half an hour long qualifying and an hour long race to finish off the season.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome to the Red Bull Ring, or Spielberg, or the A1 Ring, or one of the many, many names that this track has been called over the years. I feel like they're maybe the most named circuits in the world of Rennsport, honestly. Pretty much whoever owns the circuit can name it whatever they want.
That's a good point. Yeah. It's been rising popularity with the F1 feature and everything. I think it's done pretty well for itself.
It has. I mean, I remember driving up in this place, and I will continue to mention the esports F1 2002 because I played that game more than any other game in my life, including iRacing. And yeah, the idea of this place being in F1 was a dream when I was younger, and obviously now I take it for granted. But it is a fantastic circuit, certainly when it comes to Formula 1, and many people enjoy it on the sim as well. We are currently in a half an hour qualifying session. And the first 10 minutes, or if you don't understand the format by now, then we really will struggle to help you. But we'll go through it one more time this season. The first 10 minutes is for the LMP3s, the next 10 minutes is for the LMDH AMs, and the final 10 minutes is for the LMDH Pros. And so these are the final few times now being set by this first category.
So I've got to see the curbing now in the penultimate corner, and it's green and red, so you can have half your car on the red. So this is the stupid thing. You can run off the curbing, run completely over the green, and have half your car on the red. As we see Remy Fontaine not using all the exit there, which...
We did see him waving. Remy, I think, might be a superhero because he waved just as we went on board with him. Now, obviously, you might be thinking, maybe he's watching the stream. Well, the stream obviously has a delay of 25 seconds or so. And so Remy clearly is living 25 seconds into the future and can wave at us, which is a scary prospect.
Yeah, that always been waving at every corner, but yes, very impressive. Yeah, he's drove very strong this season, but his the battle he's been in all season has been...
Oh, he's not all right. Oh no, maybe he was listening to us talking about Sim.
Oh, maybe.
Because that was about 25 seconds after I called him a superhero, so maybe apologies, Remy, for destroying your lap.
yeah, the battle he's been in, I would say, has been the tightest all season, the LMP3s. Because the LMDHs have been, I don't know, they've all... Is it clear to say that all have had a mixed rate? I mean, QT obviously not by his own fault most of the time, but still, that puts him in that bag. We see one of the drivers getting a couple of penalties. We've had Madsen coming through late in the season. I'm trying to remember all their names now.
I think Turuski's been the most consistent, hasn't he?
He has. He has.
Even as an amateur driver. I'm surprised actually that Mark II's actually won the series with a round to spare, because that first half of the season was awful for him. And he had 3 races, like Spa round 1 he got wiped out from pole position. Red Atlanta he got wiped out from pole position. I think there may have been another one as well where he got wiped out. And then the middle part of the season, like Watkins Glen, he didn't have fantastic pace.
Yeah.
And yet, I mean, these last couple of wins that he's been able to achieve in the season certainly helped. But yeah, it's impressive, and it will be a 6th Apex Racing League title. No one else has got more than 2. So that is demonstrating just how impressive he has been. Double warm-up lap, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I would. These just... The rears aren't ready in these cars. I don't know if I'd be weaving like this, though, guys. Keep it calm. Yeah, the rears just aren't there. You can do it. Certainly, you can get the most out of the car on lap 1, but why risk it? The ERS at this track will let them do 2 completely full push laps as well. So double out lap or triple out lap, depending on how much time you have. Obviously, we have 8. These guys have 10, so they need to do the math. Plus, they can finish their last lap. So maybe they do double out lap, 2 laps, double out lap, 2 laps, and if they've got time, that could be optimal. But yeah, you can certainly do your fastest lap on the first one. The BOP here is probably one of the best it's been all week. I've seen Acuras, Porsches. I've been in the BMW, the Caddy. You don't want to be stuck behind a Caddy here. Red Bull Ring's hard to overtake, and the Caddy has just... It's not the fastest, but it's so tricky to pass. So tricky to pass.
And that's just because of its top-end speed, is it, or acceleration?
Both, but its acceleration is just hard to master. That's the best way of putting it. There you go, we can go half to the red. There you go, as Lars Trotsky runs a lap. So let's run a lap with him. So we go 2nd gear here, eyeballing the inside of the curb, pushing out to the yellow curb. Perfect. Although he usually doesn't use my gears, so he's a bad man to follow. So he's going to be eyeballing the, I think it's the 150, in between the 150 ball and 100, down to 1st gear. The late turn in, again, eyeballing the red and white curb, getting on it, pushing out to the other yellow curb. Not bad, really tricky traction there. Here, you just don't want to lock your inside. You do not want to get a lock, so usually braking earlier, down to 2nd. Eyeball the inside curb, and yeah, it's not about what you can gain there, it's about what you don't want to lose. Locking up there and your lap's dead. Probably just 3rd gear here, but a late 3rd, because an early 3rd can do what happened to Remy Fortin. It pulls you around too much. Try and keep it in 4th here, but he's going to go 3rd. Yeah. He's an engine breaker. Definitely want 4th there. Let's see. Okay, here's the double corner assist here. Before he pushes out, it's 4th gear for the first phase, 3rd gear for the 2nd. You can use 3rd gear, but some people keep it in 4th. But I reckon he'll go 3rd. Push out to the red. Yep, it's not an off track. And let's see, we're eyeballing probably a low 16. Trotsky does a 16.6. Yeah, it's a good lap. Depends what the temp is. But what is it, about 23C? Yeah, oh, I'm 23C. All right. Yeah, so pole will be somewhere between a 15.9 and a 16.3. But, I mean, QT's an animal, so maybe a 15.7. But yeah, I think 16.5 is representable in, say, 25, 26C. So, look to bring that down. I do wonder how the LMP3 would be here. I'm trying to think if I've ever raced here in the LMP3. It's just dying in popularity, unfortunately. It's following, not as bad as the LMP2. The LMP2 in officials it's bleak, unfortunately, because it is a fun car. But LMP3's not going that direction, but it's not. Just took a bit of a beating from the LMDH by the looks of it.
Yes, yeah, everyone likes the LMDHs. And yeah, it is eating up the other classes a little bit.
Well, it's an endurance car as well, let's not forget. LMP3 doesn't take you anywhere endurance-wise.
Yeah, I mean, I guess is LMP3 still in European
Yeah,
Le Mans,
he,
isn't it? But it's
yeah.
not really something that iRacing
No,
follow
unfortunately
that
not.
much.
Would be nice to see. It's definitely being called for. Be a good idea for a league, an LMP3 endurance league, but only if the popularity survives. You know, this is the problem.
SC Swash saying, who is in the comms box tonight? This is myself, Sam Fitzpatrick.
And myself, David Sampson.
There you go.
There you go.
I forgot who you were. So thanks.
Co-pilot.
He's been here for 9 weeks. I'm not sure if he works here. Aaron Smith also saying, I still played F1 2002. Apparently it's that good. I hear there's a very good modding community, or at least there was on F1 2002. Unfortunately, I was about 10 when I stopped playing it, and so I never really got into that side of things. But yeah, I imagine you can do a lot of stuff on that game.
Yeah, I was 10 as well. Yep, definitely. Yep, definitely.
You were
10. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 10 as well.
Did you own it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think it was similar time to the Grand Prix game.
That's
so
right.
You could choose one or the other. You weren't necessarily. It's not like Codemasters nowadays where you've only got the one choice realistically.
No, I was definitely into the. I was watching Mark Hutchinson. Looks like he's on an outlap. Let's see how he sets up the last corner. It's important to try and set up the last corner to give you a good run. So, yeah, definitely not ideal. He's obviously going for another outlap, I hope. Okay, no, he's pushing. Not the best way to set your lap up, I don't think. You're going to have limited top speed here into 1. So we look at his line. Oh, I don't know why anyone would drive this Porsche. Anyway, carrying on. Let's head into 2. I assume the gearing's the same in this car. So let's get full car on the curb. Let's see. Yep, that's pretty good. Second gear. Didn't look optimal. Looks
Ever
like
better to miss that apex? You see it in real life quite a bit, that people miss the apex deliberately because of the camber of the corner, but it seems like most drivers here are just taking it as tight as possible.
Yeah, you want some, just not too much. I think that's the best. The best line is a little bit of curb, just it helps pull the car around, because these are quite long, heavy cars. You certainly don't want to bounce over like a GT or anything. But no, as far as missing, these cars at slow speed, it's too much understeer. So no, you just getting on the power in these things. The straighter your wheel, the more traction you're going to put down. And so yeah, it's really important just to get in as early as you can, open up the wheel and get that throttle down.
Ooh, that's a lovely save. That's not. I mean, he's overheated the tyres with that first one, then it's undrivable for the second one.
Do you know the irony? So if he'd have opened up the wheel, he could have tracked out a lot further. Even his save wasn't an off-track. That's how tight he was. So that's what I was saying. Red Bull Ring really requires you to master the off-tracks. His save was inside the off-track line. So as you can see, when you've got the knowledge of Favaro there, completely off the circuit. Here, you can go completely off the circuit. Again, he does the same. It's little things like that. See how Favaro handles the last 2 corners. So you can get the middle of your, completely off circuit, middle of your nose onto the red. So he doesn't go as far as you can. Here, let's see. Gets a tyre or 2 on the red. Nice,
I mean,
confident lap.
Favaro is following what if the off-tracks made sense, where you had to keep part of your car on the curb, then he would be following these rules very nicely. But as you say, you can push it even further than that.
Yeah, for sure. This is the problem. A quick lap requires... You're never on the track. You watch the approach to 1... this is 2, sorry. You just get off the track. And then you turn. Oh, it sounded like he's in the wrong gear on exit there. This corner's tricky. We're going to see it a lot in the race. It's very difficult to recover from a lock, and it is so easy to lock it. Off camber, downhill, heavy cars.
SC Swash saying, making me feel old, Sam. I was modding IndyCar Racing 2. Yeah, I'm not even sure what game that is, honestly.
Probably an IndyCar game. The second one.
That's a big call. Big if true. I didn't. What I should say is that I've never played it, and I wasn't sure if there was ever a game titled that. So yes. So apologies for that one.
Mark Hutchinson, he's an AM driver. Wow, some of his performances are AM in making, if I remember rightly. If memory serves, he's had some strong races.
Yeah, he's been a bit up and down this season. I remember Fuji, he was extremely strong. That was around one of the championship. I think Fuji was our first round. And he was leading in the early stages on that day. Unfortunately, had a bit of unluckiness, but he's certainly been one of the most competitive AMs who hasn't won a race so far this season. Turushki and Ferrari have both won races, but Hutchinson is still looking for it, but I think could be possible tonight. He has set a personal best Sector 2 on this lap, where he needs a significant improvement in order to challenge Cheyenne Van Helden.
Van Helden, that is a good name.
I think that's the third time we've complimented him, because we always say it's like Van Helsing.
Yeah, it's just a strong name.
It's a really good name.
Yeah, if I change my name, it'll probably be very similar to that.
David Van Helden. He's gone up into third position for that one, has Hutchinson. 7/10 of a second off, but a huge improvement, a second a lap faster.
Yeah, for sure.
On that last effort, so clearly improving a lot, the Northern Irish driver. As now the pros go out on circuit, and this is the majority of our field, and we have, I believe, 12 of these.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see the times fall. I don't think Turushki, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on to pole with that. I do think they can get into the 15s on this temp, but let's see. Certainly expecting like a 16-3, 16-2, that sort of region from a couple of them. But let's see. So on board with Philip Craft. I'm not sure about all the weaving in prototypes. I'm not... if I was to do a double out lap, I would just do like 80% throttle, no weaving, none. It's the whole point of double outlapping, I feel. Like you're cycling temperature into the inner, sort of the outer part of your tyre without overheating your tyre. Let's watch QT. Is he weaving about? Not at the moment, keeping it nice and calm.
Everyone very close on circuit with one another. He's got Aaron Smith just in front of him. I think QT and Aaron do work together a bit, so expect them to coordinate something, but yeah, just leaving a bit of a gap, and yeah, he knows where the track limit says. He was going all the way out to the road.
That's what you should do. You should serve an off track on your lap. 100%. He opened it up, he extended the corner. Now in other games like Rennsport and Formula 1 and all that, it pops up saying you've invalidated this lap and the next lap, which is clever. iRacing doesn't have that, obviously.
Well, we have it with slowdowns, but you don't have it with
correct.
Tracks, do you?
That isn't a slowdown. When you said about what's worse, the exit is definitely a slowdown if you go too far. Whereas the other corner isn't. I mean, there is a slowdown out there, but QT certainly did. So they're going for double out lap.
Good to see Aaron actually setting up his webcam. I think this is the first time we've seen Aaron.
His Brawn GP shirt, Giga.
Yeah, if he's enjoying the documentary. Haven't watched it yet myself.
No, I haven't. Is it out? Actually out to watch?
There's a lot of Disney Plus adverts for it, yeah. Whenever I go on YouTube, it's always there.
All right, I'm watching that. I'm off now. Bye.
And with a wave to us. Of course, you have seen Aaron's face before. He was doing broadcasting here for the F3 Championship a few months ago, and again, he's waving.
No, I don't think
oh, maybe,
so.
Oh, okay.
I think
no,
he's on
No, he's angry. He's angry. He's an angry man. I think you could read his lips there.
I think you can still read them. I'm not sure why.
Honestly, this is the best thing which has been added to our broadcast for a while. Aaron Smith driving. I think I'm racing with him in the commentators race next month, and this is making me very excited about interacting with him whilst racing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Aaron's doing here. It's all well and good getting frustrated, but he's overheating his tyres. Yeah, I mean, this is no longer an out lap. I'm not sure what happened there. I think the effects car ahead was ending an out lap. And is Aaron part Italian? I suppose we can only see the hands. But yeah, it is tricky at Rebel Ring. In open qualifying, we sim racers need to realise this is how you do it in real life.
Yeah.
This isn't the exception. This is the rule. You need to find your own space, and if someone's going to clog it up, you back up. What Aaron should have done is back up the lap. I know, abandon the lap. Make sure you got enough free space ahead for the next one. I personally would never warrant, I would never look for a draft on a GP track. Maybe in Le Mans, Daytona, and that's about it. But short on that, if it's a GP track, I want to be out on my own.
Dawson currently at the top of the standings, but he's been beaten by Marte. Can Dawson respond on this lap? Oh, he's not far off. 11 thousandths of a second. That would be our closest pole margin this season if it remains like this. So Marte only just ahead of his teammate, but important stuff there for Race Clutch. He wants to win the team's championship. We may well need to get the calculators out later on in order to figure out if they're going to do enough for it, because they have about 40 points to gain on effect simulations in order to overhaul them. And currently effects with Wilson in 5th place overall and Kraft in 8th place. And of course, Kraft is actually in 6th place in the pros, but we will be saying the overall standings because that includes the AMs as well. You just can't see them on the timing tower. Here is Busby. Unfortunately, he has messed up his camera, it seems. We were hoping for a new greeting, perhaps in Japanese, perhaps in Greek. Unfortunately, we have got no greeting, and instead, fairly
I think
rude
that should be a Cuban. A Cuban.
I think so.
Yeah, honestly. As we thought, Tarusky is dropping 4th at the moment, with Joshua Wilson and Valencia only 2/10 off the lap. But yeah, QT, Dawson, Kraft, a 3 and a 5. Let's see, these three are following quite closely. Who's the green car there behind? He's using the limits nicely. And draft.
Zaffoli.
Zaffoli, nice spot. I'm not sure about all this energized outlap stuff. I think you're just overheating your tyres. Well, let's see. They're following way too closely here.
Yeah.
Draft means nothing if you're this close. It's just all you're getting is dirty air and poor traction.
Well, the effect guys are still warming up the tyres, seemingly. I'm not sure what Zaffoli is doing, whether he's on a push lap. Well, I mean, the lap's ruined after that turn 1 anyway, but yeah, he would be advised to make a bit more of a gap.
Seeing the BMWs at the top, that's why I picked the car, but the Acura here is strong. The Caddy here, as we spoke about, may not be the strongest over 1 lap, but you certainly don't want to be behind one. We've mentioned about the Acura's traction issues before, but here it's compounded. Out of turn 2, unfortunately, they are a sitting duck. It is very easy to overtake an Acura out of turn 2. You line them up, widen the exit. As you come off the corner, you're in first gear. They just don't seem to have any off power. Same for the standing start, to be honest, as it's quite a long run to 1. You'll notice the Acura's just struggling to keep up. But they're probably the fastest in the corners. That's what makes the Acura so strong around here. But the BMW is very planted. Well, it's planted for the experienced LMDH drivers. The Caddy's pretty easy around here as well. Just not the fastest over 1 lap, but very strong on top speed.
Vince Cussy saying, come on, Andy. Of course, I assume that is Andy Dawson. There's no other Andys in the series. So yeah, it will be Andy Dawson. And currently Andy is doing fairly well. Up in 2nd position, he's about to complete another lap. I think this is just a warm-up lap.
Yeah, I think so.
For him. I think Antonino Seagrave, did he just improve up into 8th position? I think he did. Yep. And he's quickly gone back to the pits. That will be the end of his qualifying session. And yeah, welcome to Elliot823 as well in chat, and everyone else who is watching along. Thank you for watching this round, and if you have tuned in for the other rounds as well, thank you for that. And do let us know who you are supporting and any thoughts you have about the race and any complaints you have about me and David as well.
Wait, we allow complaints? No.
If they can think of one, because I think they'd be hard pressed.
Oh, okay.
Superb this season. 10 out of 10.
That's good to know.
Marte, this is not a quick lap for Marte. I think both him and Dawson are going to have one more quick lap because they can use all the time after the 30 minutes has expired. Once they've started the lap, they can complete it.
Yeah, let's stay on board here with QT. Let's see how his lap looks. 2nd gear. Oh, 3rd. Wait. Oh, is he in the BMW? Wow. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a decent first sector, not his personal best.
The replay mode's definitely accurate, right? 3rd gear. I'm trying to think. I'm puzzling my brain now. No way. You'd have to... No, I don't know. I'm going to put that down to a mistake. Plus, I'm going to stop talking about gears on this broadcast because it doesn't go well.
You're certainly in second gear through turn 4 at least.
Third here, but a late third. Yeah, there you go. Because otherwise the car just the rear kicks and you counter steering. Fourth here is optimal, but I see lots of drivers pull it into third. But yeah, fourth's optimal because of the engine braking. Get nice and close to the sand. And then the fastest way is fourth for the first part, third for the second. But you can use fourth. It's just the understeer is frightening. As you see Marto getting on the red and in fourth. Yeah, very committed he is. Very
not
committed.
An improvement, but Dawson... Well, it is actually an improvement. Dawson's not going to improve... Oh, actually, no. This is looking good for Dawson. Dawson might be a threat. I've just seen a
second sector
very
time.
Good. So this could be pole position still for Andy
and his
Dawson.
first sector's almost a match.
Paul Busby moves up to 7th position. It's going to be a race clutch 1-2. Almost certainly here, but which way round is it going to be? They are matching after the first 2 sectors. Can he overrule his teammates?
I think he's got him.
No, he can't.
5
It's
thousandths.
5 thousandths of a second. He's come up short. 11 thousandths the first time. 5 thousandths the second time.
These guys practice together. That's impressive stuff. Very close. Shows they're getting the optimal from the track.
He lost a 10th in the final sector.
Oh, so he really was on for a fast lap. He was on for a very quick lap there. But that's not to say Marto didn't absolutely smash it in the last. We can say Dawson was slower in the third, or we can say QT was absolutely flying.
I mean, I'm looking at the other final sector times, and QT is 2 tenths faster than everyone else. So, like, Mark Dawson's final sector time would have probably been a purple. It was just Marto's was even better. So that is pretty much the end of qualifying, and well, the race has just transferred over as well. And so we will go through our grid then for this final round of the championship. And it's going to be Kia Thiago Marto, already with the championship in the bag, but Race Clutch wants to win the team's championship, and a 1-2 finish is their best bet at achieving that. He is clear of his teammates Andrew Dawson. Then it's Philip Kraft up in 3rd position ahead of Balazs Jarowski, Joshua Wilson and Aaron Smith. Paul Busby lines up in 7th place. A lot of those drivers, by the way, still going for 2nd place in the Pro Championship.
Yeah, it's tight.
Davide Favaro lines up in 8th place, then it's Pedro Valencia, Antonino Segre, Daniel Croft with a very disappointing qualifying in 13th place overall, Nick Madsen with a bit of an underwhelming qualifying. Frankly, Zoffoli is the same. Hutchinson lines up in 14th, then it's Van Helden and Cullen. Then it's our 3 LMP3s. Remy Fortan looking for another win this season ahead of championship winner Dan Sedgley and Marlon Schwab round out the drivers.
Championship winner. Still got a round to go. What if they get deducted points for some unthought reason?
We have had that in this series, actually. It was a couple of seasons ago, and I will embarrass Jack Wells when I say his name on that front. He won the championship with a round to go, turned up for the last round, got a penalty, and retired from the race. So he got minus 10 points for the final round, and he got 5th down.
No.
Only time that's ever happened.
Oh my God. That's like a Verstappen moment.
Yeah.
Drama on ARL.
He took it very well, Jack. And he won the amateurs in the LMDHs last season in the Brit side. So that was season 4, I want to say. And then he won the title in season 5. So he did redeem himself, but man. That was LMP1 days as well.
Oh, wow. What a sound.
Or lack of it.
Well, yeah, okay. I love the braking sound, the regen sound.
Yeah.
I just think it sounds good. Yeah. The good old days.
Here come the drivers pulling away. Just a short,
very short
lap here. And of course, Marto leading us away. And the start zone for these drivers tonight, there's a white line shortly after the final corner, and they can go anywhere between that and the finish line.
Excellent. He's going to go the second he can.
Yeah.
If you say white line to, doesn't matter. He heard white line.
Well, judging by how he's gone this season, that Road Atlanta, he left it a bit, didn't he? And he just got rammed into the backwalk. So he's just going to be like, nah, as soon as I can get away from these maniacs behind me, I'm going to...
This last corner requires a lot of steering lock, so the sooner you can go, the further behind everyone will be as he goes.
There's that white line.
Late.
He's still holding it, but now he goes. And, well, our final round of the championship. is underway in the Apex Racing League Prototype Series. And is Marto leading Dawson. Tight behind, Kraft might lose out to Turoshki, but I think he's done enough. No, actually, they're still alongside. And Turoshki has got a much better exit and will move ahead. There you can see in the LMP3's Remy Fortin, he left it very late as well himself. And, well, it'll be tough for the Olympus esports driver of Dan Sedgwick to hold on to second place, but he has been able to achieve it. There goes Aaron Smith. That's a move on Philip Kraft, a bit of an ambitious one, and one that I don't think Kraft will be particularly pleased on. It's been a poor start for the German driver, albeit he is keeping his nose ahead before they head into turn 4.
Yeah, Nick Masden up 4 positions, I'm seeing.
Ooh, Smith still going for it in Kraft's round. That was Kraft locking the rears himself, but Smith has overshot it as well. And that's not a good rejoin. That's disrupted Mark Hutchinson.
Not the best rejoin. Yeah, I think I mentioned that corner 3 times. It's just an early corner. You shouldn't think about what you can gain in that corner. It's what you can lose. 1 lockup, and it's off camber downhill. There's only one place you're going, and they both went there. It did look like just one of them, but they both had outbraked. They had both outbraked themselves.
Well, it's been the perfect start of the race, Clutch. I was sort of hoping that both of them would be wiped out so we didn't have to get out the calculators, but it does look like we are going to have a close championship for the teams, and they are doing everything they need to do at the moment. Martin Schwab, I think, actually, Remy Fortin's made a mistake, and we have got a new leader in the LMP3s. Meanwhile, Joshua Wilson has made a mistake. He was up to 4th position, but he's now down to 6th. Amazing start for Madsen, up 7 places.
Yeah, every corner I'm seeing him go up. We are 7 corners in. Yeah, the Effect Boys are now running together. Yeah, we'll get some replays of what's happened with the offs and the break-in and the lockups.
There's Sedgley. Clearly a mistake from Fortani. He needed to go behind Schwab as well. So.
These guys are in reverse order, right? Sedgley was last. Into 1? Yeah.
Yeah, for a bit, yeah.
There's something definitely happened. But cold tyres, heavy tanks, these cars aren't easy.
There is Remy. Can't wait to off-puts him once again. Maybe he's turned the stream off. Or maybe he's still wants to hear our voices throughout. So when these guys are streaming their camera, they get a light which shows if they are currently being shown. So so he hasn't got superpowers.
So for QT, can we go off and on, off and on, off and on, make the light flash to distract him?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And he's going to be thinking, what's going on with my car?
Yeah, and he'll start alt-tabbing and trying to check the connection. He'll still be leading, but
he's won the championship, so yeah, he cares. You know?
Let's make that light flash. His setup's looking good. He always looks calm. It's another factor I like about QT. He always looks very calm and collected, relaxed, and quick. Okay, so our leader QT leading Dawson by, what, just over half a second? Another half a second back is Balazs Turoshki. They're all quite gaggled up, actually, all the way back. I'd say it's Smith who is the first person a little bit out of sync, 2.5 back off Safoli. Also, Aaron Smith is down 6 positions, so hopefully we can find out what happened.
Well, that was at turn 4 where he went
of course. That was him and... who was him? Him and... Kraft, whatever.
So he's ahead of Kraft. He did usually make up places. I think Van Helden may have made a mistake, maybe. Yeah, Van Helden's just lost 6 seconds in the middle sector, so... I think when Van Helden was being overtaken, he got contacts, maybe.
Yeah, unfortunately to curse Aaron, we mentioned his starts in the beginning of the race isn't usually his strongest point. He'll usually come through the field like he always does, but maybe just more of a relaxed opening would be more helpful. They're following nice and closely. Turoshki might have a good advantage in the caddy, you know, here. So we're following Segro. He's making a move, nice and late on the brakes. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, so obviously that was an accident. It was the Effect driver that made it not be an accident.
And here comes Valencia.
Busby is now also being sent.
Busby having to turn out of the corner. He will not be happy.
We're probably lucky Busby's camera's off right now. Busby's braking brake, get that done, but the problem is the switchback. They're not going to do a switchback here. It's too... Okay, I am... No way.
Oh, man.
No, there's no way, no way. Where was he going to go? Even if you somehow magically got alongside, the next corner's a right anyway. So yeah, there's no, it's just silly. This is a long race, hour at the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, I think the events from the couple of corners previously very much meant that Busby was turning into that corner regardless of who was there. And,
Yeah.
he just about managed to avoid him and then keeping Effect Simulator's chances at the championship alive as well. So you can get a few replays.
A few replays to look at them. So Smith.
Right, mocking their ears.
This isn't. Yeah, there's nothing to say. They're both outbreaking themselves. It's looking Hutchinson on board, and this is Kraft's rejoin. Not a good rejoin at all. That rejoin's fine. This was obviously the lead change we missed. Essentially must have got by, and then Fortan's locked up, going from first to last. Lucky it's only 3 of them. And oh, that was Ben Cullen losing it in the last corner. I can't say I've seen that before. I wonder what LMDH is in. The Acura. Well, that sounds like an Acura problem to me. That's why I don't drive it. It's not a car I thought it would be my one. I thought Acura would be my car. Week 13 I actually had it probably is the car that got me into LMDH, but once I started driving them all, a late move. Too much. So Foley's now going to have an easy run. And they're all late braking out there. I think they're all forgetting they've got endurance tanks. Wait, do we see some bump drafting?
Yeah, that was Smith.
I wouldn't advise bump drafting here.
Oh, 3 wide. That's not going to work. Smith needs to get the cut back here. I mean, I don't know what was going on there. Did Foley hit off Kraft?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I was too busy
They were
watching
mirror
Smith.
braking, yeah.
Yeah, they were all watching Smith behind, and they weren't watching Kraft ahead. Or full time, Daniel Kraft is having tonight.
Yeah, I think I saw Aaron bump drafting. I don't know if you want to be bump drafting these cars. Yeah, we've seen a lot of late braking. And that isn't the strat here at Red Bull Ring. It's early traction. That's what these guys are lacking. Well, you know, I'm not an oracle. It's easier to sit here in the booth all calm than it is out there. But this is a traction track, not a late braking track. As we saw when Busby tried to get the move done, he broke late and was a metre late, and then Sir Foley got him on exit. We are seeing a very amped up Smith. He looks hungry. Are we going to see another send? We're watching the rear of Joshua Wilson. No. Who's that in front of him? Foley, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like a gaggle to watch.
All these guys you'd expect further up the field. I mean, they're in
Yeah.
the bottom half of the field right now.
Oh, here we go.
They're all going for second place in the championship. So Foley covering it off.
Yeah, but he's going to be absolutely done on the exit. No? Poor exit from Joshua there. You done enough to cover off Aaron. Wow. Is Paul just going to go for the switchback this time? No. He's trying to hang it out there. He needs to be careful. But he's on the inside, so he hasn't got to worry about Aaron at all.
Oh no, Smith's gone into the back of him. Wilson trying to take the racing line, and Smith making enemies with Kraft earlier on, albeit, to be fair, I think that was a racing incident. I don't think that one was. Smith not especially happy.
Yeah, I did see a replay. That happened a bit too quick for me.
I think you were looking away at the time, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was wondering who the guy is behind. I glanced down to see it was Kraft. I was about to say Kraft must be licking his lips, and then it all kicked off.
Well, I'm glad that maybe this is the last round, because I think these guys maybe need a break from one another after this one. I'm not going to use the Christmas cards metaphor, but I think that pretty much applies in this scenario. Van Helden's up to 15th, although I think he may have just been overtaken by Joshua Wilson, perhaps, although, of course, Wilson just lost 11 seconds in that last lap. What a mess. In the LMP3s, Dan Sedgley is still leading the way. He's 1 second ahead of Remy Fortin. Marlon Schwab very much dropping off those guys, a further 9 seconds back. But Fortin very much keeping tabs, and actually just as we tune in, I think that bit of lap traffic holding up Sedgley, so he's lost half of his lead. And Fortin is very much back within passing range. So keep an eye on that one on the timing tower. That could well change at any time. And of course, if you want to see the gaps between them during the race, do check out the live timing link in the description below, provided by SDK Gaming. Open that, you can get a web page up, and that will tell you the driver's best lap times, their last lap times, their sector times, and every bit of information you can hope for.
Correct. All right, so let's get a rundown. Marto is leading with less than a second back. Still in draft is his teammate Dawson. Trotsky 4 seconds back from that, with Davide Favaro within draft. Nick Masden in the part of the train. Segro, who's up 4. What? Has Nick Masden had a problem? As I was commentating this, Segro, yeah, Masden is dropping back. I think I just caused commentators curse, so I feel terrible. Let's see what happened. Maybe a slowdown? We'll try and find out what happened there. Okay, I'm getting reports there was smoke and maybe a recovery, but yeah, he's actually lost out to Segro, Busby, Valencia, so unfortunately quite the drop for him. He's still up 4 from Q, so, you know, but he was up 7 or 8 at one point. Davide Favario running very strong. He's still in the draft with Tarosky out there. That's impressive. They've already made a pass through on the LMP3s, so holding strong. Joshua Wilson not having a race to remember, down 10. Craft, obviously, we saw an early accident. As we see, where is the third LMP3? Is it Schwab?
Schwab is the third LMP3.
Right,
He did have a mistake about a minute ago, which I saw dropped him down, so...
Copy.
Although not that much, his lap time wasn't that bad that last time, so yeah, didn't lose him a whole lot, fortunately.
We're on board with Remy Fontaine, who's up the rear of Dan Sedgley. But these guys have been this close for 9 weeks now. Is it week 9?
Week 9, yeah.
Ah, I like the fact you paused. I thought you knew everything, but you had to think about that for a second.
You haven't learnt yet that everything that I say, I don't actually know. I just try to say it with enough confidence.
Ah,
so,
that is key.
So far, it's worked on Apex Racing TV, a treat. So
because no one questions it or looks it up because you said it with such assertion that people are like, yes,
yeah,
that is when Michael Schumacher had that spin, that track.
Oh yeah, I know nothing. Those questions I asked you at Fuji this season. No idea. It's just plucking ideas up my head.
All right, replay time. Here we go.
So
just too long.
Craft being overtaken initially by one of the Pure Sims cars.
No, that's an effect car, right?
Effects car.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then just absolutely had on exit. But this is what led up to yoicks, to the Smith.
Yes, that was the Foley wiping out Craft.
Right, on board with Aaron here. Oof. Yeah, see, they were all just outbreaking each other regardless of who was in front.
So I think we're going to get a replay of Smith's onboard, and it is a bit more generous with Smith's onboard because you can see the car pulls in front. It's probably still Smith's fault, but the effect car probably could have not moved across as well as Madsen getting on the curb.
Yeah, what a shame. I was ready to blame Aaron, but there's a rule. If you are going to shut the door, as we say, you can't shut the door and brake. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Even if it's the braking point, you can't blind someone and brake. Like you can, but you shouldn't because that happens. Because you don't have time to react. You're driving in a straight line. You're waiting for your braking point. All of a sudden, yeah, they're allowed to shut the door. But if your next action immediately is the braking, then expect to be turned. It's like my rule if you flash me. If you flash me, whatever you wanted, that isn't happening. I'm going to do whatever I think you want, the opposite.
Sure.
I'll abandon my pit phase to just not do what you wanted me to do. That's a rule.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the, at least from my history of, I probably made that mistake a couple of times in the past. And you sort of learn that.
What, flashing me?
No. Moving across.
Yeah.
Let's be serious here, Toby. Come on. This is
Very serious. Yeah, serious. Yeah.
Moving across on someone before the braking zone. And whenever I do that, I mean, I've always got that sort of feeling in my spine where I'm like, oh no, I hope that the guy doesn't drive into the back of me. And so, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. He should have learned that he was playing a risk in that scenario. Was it Wilson?
It was one of them.
I think it was.
It must have been. There's no way Busby's in that happened on his P6. It must have been Joshua. Yeah, obviously Joshua's more than welcome to it. It's his line. He's earned it and he can shut the door. But as I say, if you're about to threshold break, it can be. It usually involves what just happened.
I've been holding off it, but I think I am going to actually have to get the points up now to figure out what the championship connotations are, because...
Connotations, there we go, that's a good word.
Yeah, I'm a smart person, university educated. And...
it was worth it for that word.
Yeah, there he is. And we know that these two are going to finish 1-2 because they are now 6 seconds clear of the rest of the order. Like they have been for the last few rounds, where in America it was very much the same.
Yeah, they're starting to put it together now, aren't they? Class of their own at the moment.
I mean, I feel like they maybe could have done this from the start of the season. Dawson hasn't been an absolute top 5. I think back to Fuji where they were 1st and 3rd and they got done by Busby doing a fancy, or I think it was Kraft actually, doing a very long first stint and getting ahead of them. But this has been on the cards and they've just been, you know, maximising the results recently.
Yeah, for sure. Just scanning down the order. Obviously, it's sad to see what happened to Nick Madston, but he's not out. You know, he's up 4 from his qualifying position, and he's only 2.5 seconds off Valencia, so it's all still to play for. It's good to see Segro after a poor qualifying, must be said, up to P3 in class. I mean, it's the last round of the season. Can we just include Zorowski and Zafaro, and I get to say Segro's 5th or not?
I would say Segro's 5th because he's getting points for 5th, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
it's last round. They get it. Segro's P5, but he's up 5 positions. And Trotsky and Favara, if you're listening, there is no way you guys aren't having the word pro in anything you do going forward. Okay,
well,
I have said it.
What about Favaro though? I mean, he's not winning the title. It was a bit harsh for him to say.
Never
win an AM.
Tarosco did wipe the floor of him, yes. But every race, he is up there in the pros. He's qualifying top 5, top 6 with pros. Right now, he's ahead of the likes of Madston, the Kraft, Joshua Wilson. But yeah, I think he's doing an absolute stellar job. But yeah, had Tarosky been put where I said on round 1 he should be, wink wink, Favaro would have won the championship. But they're both... Actually, Davide Favaro's improved as the season's gone on. And even Tarosky. He was... his level of consistency has taken a right... has really improved. It's almost like he's settled into what he knows he can do now, rather than just always trying to extract. And that's when you start to get very quick.
I mean, look at the straight line speed of that Acura. That's not strong, is it?
No.
We're just losing time coming out of turn 1. Going to be going to make overtaking Favaro, apologies, Zoffoli, exceptionally difficult. By the way, Aaron Smith ahead of these guys. Fast man out on circuit at the moment. What could have been for Aaron if he'd maximised the results? But say he's a bit of a lonely 9th, but yeah, that being about 6 tenths of a second faster than these guys. On that last lap, Kraft was 3 tenths faster than Zoffoli, so he has got to clear him quick, but yeah, judging by the straight line speed, it's going to be very tricky.
Yeah. It's going to be very tricky. And Smith is coming up to Madston as well. But yeah, Kraft in the Acura, it's coming out of 2. It's not even just the top speed, it's your exits as well. High-speed exits are fine. Like here, we'll see him catch up for sure on the exit of this corner. But the exit of the next 2, not so much. So he should flip it into attack mode. No, actually attack mode won't work here, it's the next one. But this is where it'll be weak, at the exit of this corner. Let's see, if Sofoli can hook it up, you'll see the Acura struggle now. as it just poodles its power down. Let's see, even worse on this one because of the uphill nature, the fact the weight of the car works against it. Let's see. This is first gear, this one as well. Let's have a look at the Acura's off corner, and bye-bye car in front. So even attack mode will do nothing now, absolutely nothing. Okay, here we go, the battle, Madston and Smith. Smith's looked very fast. Since qualifying, he's just looked like he's driving a little frustrated. Hopefully he can just calm himself and use this pace he's definitely got at this track.
Yeah, again on that last lap, he was once again the second fastest man out on cycle. It was actually Seago in 5th place who was fastest. On that last tour, the two leaders have actually slowed down a little bit now. They're not in traffic or anything, but I think just realising they don't need to push it quite as hard as what they have been so far today. Third the way through this race, and still results possible for Smith. He's 16.5 seconds off the lead, which frankly, considering the misdemeanors he's been involved in, is fairly good. I could see him still getting on the podium, honestly, here, Smith. But he needs to avoid any issues, and he needs to clear Nick Madsen, and he is not doing that at the moment. 6/10 of a second faster on that last tour of the circuit. Meanwhile, by the way, Philip Croft has got past Lorenzo Sofoli, so I think that was down at turn 1. And yeah, it did take him a little bit of a while to do it, but I guess just picked up on a Sofoli mistake.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Smith's, how he runs the ERS. Out of 1, probably out of 2, to be honest. He's able to follow so closely. I've noticed that a lot about Smith this race. Well, hence to Joshua's demise. He was able to follow very closely. He's looking fast though. QT Dawson is actually out of QT's draft at last, so that will actually start tumbling now. Balaj is holding on about 4.5 seconds to Dawson. Tell a lie, 6 seconds. Simple math.
So where are the effects drivers at the moment? We've got Busby in 6th.
Correct, and Joshua's in 15th.
So 6th and 15th. So 6th, 35. And was it 15th?
Yeah.
So at the moment... Ooh! Wow, it's close. So at the moment, if it ended like this, Race Clutch would finish the season with 583. Effects would end with 581. So at the moment, Race Clutch would be teams champions. But it's a case that pretty much Effects only need one more position in order to take the title. So keep tuned, guys. This is close. When I honestly searched that, I honestly thought that realistically Effect would still be a decent way ahead, but they are having a mare.
That's the word I would use.
And Busby's not going to necessarily stay in 6th place. I mean, he's 4 seconds behind Seago. He's got Valencia behind. He's doing not much, but with the pace that Smith has got, Smith could definitely catch up by the end of the race. Maybe even Kraft as well. He was qualifying up in P3 was Kraft. So, yeah, Wilson needs to get up there. Wilson's got 21 seconds to catch to the next LMDH, though.
The only thing I'm thinking, I was running some numbers myself. Can Joshua fuel save to make that pit stop get him to the end? If so, then Race Clutch haven't got a chance. It was lap 8. It is a big ask.
I think that's... So, well, that's like 11 minutes?
Yeah, so
I think that's too far.
I mean,
I guess you could if you did fuel save, but I think you'd lose too much time.
Yeah. So Foley's into the pits. Assume... I mean... I don't know why you would if he was in draft. If he wasn't in draft, sure.
I think he may have had damage.
Okay, then yeah, get it.
In so many instances.
I think one of the incidents might have been Sofoli's fault. He moved the other car out of the way politely, impolitely.
Yes, that was Kraft, wasn't it? It was, yeah, it was Kraft. So 14.5 seconds, so a couple of tyres and some fuel and a faster lap. And
if it's
screen replacement.
So quick math here, if it's 14.5 seconds of fuel, okay, that means Joshua Wilson put in 14.5 seconds of fuel. Now if you're able to put in 14.5...
That's a good point.
Yeah, or am I wrong?
No, well, unless Wilson didn't... No, I think you're right. No, I think your logic is very sound. No, but, yeah, no, your logic is sound. I'm umming and ahhing, but no, your logic is absolutely sound, and I think it's very possible that Wilson is going to the end of the race.
Whew. Okay, I started to doubt myself for a second there as well. And then when you doubted me, I started to really doubt me.
Wilson's pace is all right. It's not obvious that he's fuel saving. He's got similar pace to guys in the... Well, he's a bit slower than most of the guys, other guys actually, as Wilson. Basically, he's currently in the mid-18s. His best lap actually is an 18.3. You compare that to some of the other drivers, their best laps are in the mid-17s, so maybe he is fuel saving, maybe he is lifting coasting.
If it's 9/10 a lap, and yeah, then he'll be out of contention anyway. He's already, like we said, 18 off the back of... Well, he's 18 off the back of Safolian. Safolian's pitted, so...
But then he doesn't need to gain many places, does he? I mean, we're not talking that he has to necessarily beat Smith and Kraft, but if he can beat Hutchinson and Helden, then that would be enough for him to get the points that effects need.
Because Rates Clutch can do no more. They are scoring L maximum.
There's no bonus points in this series. There's no like fastest lap bonuses or anything. It's just the results.
Race Clutch are doing what Red Bull can only dream of doing, a 1-2.
Yeah.
They've tried so many drivers.
Was it Miami? The last I might be wrong on that, but
Miami. What, the other way round? Was that Miami when Perez got it?
No, Perez took pole and Verstappen started like 30th and still beat him by half a minute.
Right, Favaro's in. Just keep an eye on his pit stop. No tyres, makes sense. Cold track.
Okay, so maybe they're not taking 2 tyres in that case. I thought they may have been, but yeah, I'd just take a fuel.
Let's see, he's been sat for... Oh,
a bit of a longer one. Oh, hang on, this could be a penalty here. Is he on the tracks?
Yeah, he's crossed the white line. If we can try and get a replay, I'm betting he crossed the white line on entry.
Well, that is very good news for Joshua Wilson.
This is like Brands Hatch, this track. You know, iRacing has those pit-in lines at every track, but there's only some tracks where they're like, oh, wait, you crossed it.
Yeah.
What do you mean you crossed it? Brands Hatch here happened a lot this week, actually. People in the DMs like, wait, what? Why did I get a penalty?
Oh, Paul Busby. Oh no, Paul Busby has had a setback. Well, just as it looked like it might be going better for effect simulations, with Joshua Wilson moving ahead of Davide Ferrari, it's been undone, and some more, because Paul Busby has had an incident, and Valencia, Madsen and Smith have all got past. And from looking like they are 2 points behind, by my calculations, they're now 5 points behind.
Aye. It makes our job more fun. Still
do some more sums.
It's theirs for the taking. Both drivers are fast enough and still in a position to clinch the points, but they've just got to actually clinch them.
In the LMP3s, it's the same story as what it was about half an hour ago. Maybe not half an hour ago, 25 minutes ago. Half a second, the gap between Sedgley and Fortin. Fortin was 0.4 of a second faster than last tour. But they are going to jump.
To correct you, it's actually been 9 weeks of them being close to each other and battling it out. Actually been a really good season for them. It's a shame, obviously, the numbers dwindled. We had a big, it started strong, but there was like an LMP3 Pro and AM, wasn't there? There was the top 4 and then the rest.
Essentially Fortin and States from the start, and then there was also, who was the other driver who was near them at the start?
Thomas.
Hansen,
yeah.
But we had the Evo SR guys as well. But unfortunately, none of them really ever got that close. They were new to the car.
All right, some replays for you. Schwab. No, you can't do that, mate.
Is that what you were talking about?
No, I meant riding it, not like riding it like a horse like he was. I mean like 2-tyre. And this is Favaro crossing the white line. That. And this is Busby pulling an early third. Yeah. So easy done. Oh. Let's see. Okay.
Aaron's steering there was quite calm, but from what we've seen so far tonight of his camera, I doubt he was very calm in the cockpit.
I think he saw an effects livery and actually opened up the wheel a little bit. No, I'm playing. But yeah, he seemed very calm.
What's gone on with Busby? He's had a super long pit stop. I think Busby's cut the pit entry line as well. What is going on with effects, as we might have a change over the lead for LMP3? Remy Fortin is getting underneath Dan Sedgley. And Sedgley will have the inside line for this next corner, but this battle is by no means over. This is as close as 14 has got for the first half of this race. They were starting this the other way round at the start, but immediately lost it at turn 2. And he's been trying to get it back ever since.
It's weird. Davide Favaro's, Paul Busby and Ben Cullen's pit times are very similar. Weird that.
Wow. So we've had 5 pit stops and 3 of them have gone over the white line.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's heavily enforced here. Much like, as I mentioned it before, Brands Hatch, there's a few tracks where the suggested pit entry lines are mandatory, which is crazy. Because you think of tracks like Watkins Glen, it suggests that you be in the far right-hand side for the last corner.
Watkins Glen would cause so many issues if they actually enforced that, they wouldn't.
Yeah,
100
so slowly, yeah.
Oh, Busby's off again.
Oh,
He's
no,
towed back. Effect Simulations, I think, are losing this title. Incredible.
And Paul's pit stops this season aren't going to be his highlight.
Hey.
Definitely not.
Is he still going, or did he tow back?
I saw him disappear.
Yeah. I'm just seeing him still, like, oh, maybe it's the towing process. It doesn't change him to the track until he's completed it. Oh, he's just quit. Well, that's a shame for this championship. Well, it's not over for them, I guess, because they've got 3 drivers. But Cullen's not doing well because he's a lap down.
Cullen got the same. He got the effects pit stop time.
So Cullen and Cullen, Busby, and Wilson are 3 of the bottom 4 in the LMDHs at the moment.
Yeah, Tarosky showing you how it's done. Running 8 seconds off of Andrew Dawson. Running very consistent, staying out of trouble. Interesting to see how he finishes, but star of the season, I would say it's a fight between Sedgley and Tarosky.
Yeah.
Both have been very similar in their application of, but maybe Sedgley had the more winning instinct.
It's odd because both of them have raced in Apex Racing League in the past as Seagrid comes into the pit. Sedgley has raced in Porsche Cup. I think he raced in Porsche Cup only a few weeks ago, actually, in Season 8 of that championship. And Tarosky has raced in a couple of prototype championships, most recently Season 5 earlier this year. And neither of them did that much. You know, they're both, solid drivers, but you don't really look twice at them too much, and yet this season they've been incredible and fully deserved the titles that they've won. It's nice to see drivers improve so significantly on iRacing, and I must say in a short period of time.
Yeah, I've been impressed with a few standouts in the second half season, like Nick Madsen. I know he's had the incident this race, but again, he's one of those that from the slower start, from mid to end, he's been very impressive. Very impressive. Mark Hutchinson's usually punched above his weight, especially in that Porsche, and deserves a medal. He's on board with Mr. Sedgley here, being chased by his season rival. These guys must be on-track friends. They've spent 9 weeks this close to each other. I think there's only one track where they're all separated by a god-awful amount. I think it was Monza, maybe. But the rest of them have been so close. QT is starting to gap his teammate, 2.8 seconds. Starting to flex a little bit as well, for 17.1. That's quite the lap time.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad for Dawson when he's setting personal best lap times and still being dropped by a 10th.5. It does seem like Martin's got that little bit more pace. Remember, was 0.005 of a second.
So that's one thing you do lose out on your hitting early, like Seagroves, Foley, obviously, Favaro, Cullen, and Set. All those were going to miss out on their low fuel laps. And in a car like this, it really is quick. As long as you look after your tyres.
Simon B asking, where Busby? Well, where is Busby?
Unfortunately,
he's gone. He is no longer. He is out.
Yeah, so he had a moment in the race. Okay, here's a replay. Oh, so he did.
Oh, that was the tightest one we've seen.
Crosses across. Third gear. Yeah. So Busby had an incident like that.
Yeah.
Then, oh, who we got here? Whoa! Didn't he do that in practice? Oh, qualifying. Yeah, was it him? I think.
Hutchinson had a big slide.
Oh, it was Hutchinson. Sorry, I knew it was a silver livery. Sorry, to answer your question about Busby. He had an incident in the race, a small half spin, recovered, pitted, picked up a 45-second penalty, came out, had a spin, and then snapped his keyboard. I mean, left.
All in 5 minutes.
I hope his keyboard's okay.
Smith got past Madsen a few laps ago. I don't think we've mentioned that one, but he did complete that. Kraft is going with those guys as well, so watch out for Kraft. He's catching up, and now Smith might well get past Valencia. I did say that Smith might get third earlier on today, and it is still possible. He's got 7 seconds to catch up to Turoshki, but Turoshki's playing some really good times. Oh, there goes Smith. I was looking at the timing board, but stuff was going on out on circuits, and Smith now moves up another place. He is marginally staying ahead. Valencia really is making this one tricky for him, and he's nearly tapping the back of Smith's car. But I think they're gonna get through it all fine.
Wow, I called it early. Smith's mid to end part of his race is always quick. He's always moving up, but he just never seems like he's up at the beginning.
Yeah.
If he can, if he can put his qualifying together, his race starts, then he's going to be a dominant force in the future. But yeah, I mean, he always comes through the field, always.
Former Formula 3 amateur champion, of course, is Smith. Took him many attempts at it, always finishing in second or third place in the championship, and then finally managed to get over the hurdle, I believe, in season 7 of that one. There is Madsen, the next lining up on Valencia, and like I said before, Kraft close behind. Hutchinson 18 seconds behind these drivers, so I think this battle 4th down to 7th will all stay contained, unless of course Smith can start to append onto the back of the podium battle.
Wait, we got a Nick Marsden camera.
Ah, this is the first.
Oh, it's just come in.
I wonder if Madsen pressed start on that right at the start of the season. It's just started working for this final round, final half of this final round. There he is, passing along.
Where's his screen? That camera must be a very wide angle, and then it's cropped in on the left, because I can't quite work out what's going on here. He seems very far away, yet there's no screen in front of him.
He's got VR contact lenses.
Oh yeah, fisheye lens are produced the same. Oh yeah, the bent door. There you go. Yeah, it makes it look strange, right? Because you see the rigging, and it gives the impression that his screen's nice to put a face to the name. Yes.
Yeah, that's a phrase.
I started to doubt myself a bit there before I got the other way around. Marto is flexing out there. I mean, LMP3. I don't think this Valencia battle's over with Smith. He did seem to want to fight back as they're getting past Sedgley. Who's that behind? Is that
Madsen?
Madsen. Oh yeah. So Madsen was ahead of Valencia, obviously a while ago, until that spin early on cost him 4 positions.
Yeah, I forgot that spin even happened. Yeah. I mean, all these guys, well, I say all of them. I think Smith, Madsen and Kraft, they could have all been ahead of Turoshki at this point in the race, but they've just had a few issues. Madsen's just set his personal best first sector of the race. Turoshki's pace is nice as well. 17.6 that last time round for him. Smith will cross the line, of course in traffic, so it's difficult to compare. He actually lost a tenth of a second, did Smith, on that last tour. You can see how Valencia is not letting him extend whatsoever.
I know his pain though, trying to catch a caddy. That is the right. Yeah, Valencia is in a BMW. Yeah, this was my week. BMW trying to catch a caddy. It's not easy. We are the better car, but that doesn't mean squat. You can't get by him. But we know Smith's fast, so. And who's left? Most of these guys are still left to pit. Everyone who went for the early pit stop strategy, most of them didn't pull it off very well.
Yeah, haven't we been keeping an eye on Seagray's lap times? Although Seagray, that last lap, actually did a very nice time. So I think Seagray might be all right. Not sure about the others. Although Seago took all 4 tyres at his pit stop. We wait to see if others do that, but
That's crazy.
so far it's only been 2 tyres. That pretty much everyone's 2 tyres and a 40-second stop and go. That's been the strat so far. Paul Busby in chat saying, thanks to the season, guys. GG to Kie for the title and Race Clutch for the team championship. Red Bull Ring is the worst track on the service, and I wish I had touched some grass instead of being on here tonight.
Sorry, Paul. Nice to see you, mate.
Thanks, Sam and Sam Soid for the broadcast. Well, thank you, Paul, for making us laugh. Like we said earlier on, the whiteboard was one of our highlights of the season. So,
Paul, your camera wasn't working. What was the message?
Yeah. It was all of that. He's had that from the start of the race.
Yeah, it was all that, yeah.
Dawson, what's happened to Dawson? He's behind Turushki. He hasn't pitted. And yet he's down to 3rd place. He's lost 14 seconds in the first sector of this lap. That's a lot of time for a spin. It's been mentioned that perhaps lifting and coasting, but there'll be some heavy lifting and coasting.
Wait, has he pitted the lap too late? No, he's going way too quick. Oh, our broadcaster is winding us up, okay? We'll find out what happened.
Busby saying it was 1x drive-through. So he didn't get to that point. Paul, congratulations.
Paul, it was white line drive. It was white line 42nd,
yeah.
Actually. It should have been. White line 42nd.
I am seeing a preview of the spin later on, and we'll talk about it, I guess, when the viewers can see it, but we will have that one. Oh, in fact, we can already show it who it was. Was this similar to what you were talking about earlier?
No, that's just using too much. He's got. I'm talking about getting chucked the other direction, actually being chucked left. If you run your 2 tyres along the curb, he's just gone way too far over it. And just got a bit greedy on the throttle. You can't throttle if you're going to ride it like that.
Busby wants to show us his whiteboard, I think.
We're going to try. There he is.
There it is.
1x drive-through. Hello, sir.
Wonderful stuff.
So, wow. Trotsky sitting pretty right now. 3.5 second gap. Let's see, hope he nails his pit stop.
Yeah, like, Dawson should have the pace to catch and pass Turushki by the end. It won't be comfortable, and then you've got Smith to worry about as well behind Valencia, Madsen, and Kraft. Second down to 7 are all very close now. Less than 10 seconds separating them.
Passing here isn't the easiest. It can take quite a few laps, and Turushki's, well, his superpower at this track today has been, he may not actually be the quickest out of, maybe he's like the 5th quickest on track today, but he's not having any slow laps. And that's key around Red Bull.
There have been some pit stops in the LMP3s, and we have had a change in the LMP3s as well at the top of the leaders. There was a pit stop initially for Sedgley a couple of laps ago, and then Fortan, I think, pitted on the previous lap, and 2.5 seconds faster in the pit stop. He's now 3 seconds ahead. So a combination of a quicker pit stop for Fortan. Obviously, he's been in the draft the whole race, so he's been able to save a bit of fuel. And seemingly a better in-lap, have been able to get the Frenchman up into the race lead. Good effort for him.
Yeah, well noticed, and well put together, exactly. Looks like he went absolutely full fuel saving mode. Wait, Ben Cullen's been in for 7 seconds. That sounds a lot like a drive-through.
No. Well, he's out.
Oh, is he out?
He's been stationary in the pits for about 3 minutes.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think he is. I don't think he's taking any repairs or anything. Busby, on our timing, is still stuck somewhere on the outside of turn 8. His car hasn't been taken back to the pits. I think because he quit out of the session, it just it's just left the car there, pretty much. That is something I would like to see, and that's something that, going back to early 2000s F1 games. Was it like Grand Prix 4 or something? Had you could see your car if you crashed, it would get like taken away by a crane.
Oh wow!
And iRacing don't have that. I would like that, please. Safety cars, please. Well, maybe not for this. I don't think we'd enable them, but we'd like the option.
Yeah, decent road-based safety cars, not just an oval system that jank together to work on road. Thank you. Actually, Sunday I've got a safety car race. I always get nervous when the safety car systems are used.
Like that's the that was a little bit tight on the pit entry as well. I think he might get away with it, Kraft. Of course, that'll be broadcast on Apex Racing TV.
Yep.
The Make-A-Wish charity race at Le Mans.
Drive for Wishes.
Drive for Wishes, sorry. And that will be over the course of 3 different splits as well. A broadcast like we've never done before, as we're looking at the pit entry. And you think that's a penalty?
I think you had a very good eye. It's a penalty, yes.
Ah, okay.
Oh, wait, is he actually? No way.
Well, he wasn't all 4 wheels. Not all 4 wheels went over the white line. It was like there was 1 wheel which wasn't going over the white line. But I'm not sure is that the threshold. All 4 wheels need to go over.
What I saw him do that you spotted, I would be bricking it. What he did.
I mean, if I'm right with the 4 wheels going over the white line, then he's got it by about a tyre width.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get the replay very soon. But yeah, it was a good spot. It is tricky. It's not easy, especially because by the time you come into pit, you've been out on track for 45 minutes. You've got no fronts, and if your car slides, well, you've got a quick decision to make. Do I steer left and do another lap, or do I risk getting the penalty? Okay, Nick Marsden in. Fingers crossed we do not have to bring up a replay for this pit entry. Hopefully it can just be something that happens. Okay, Nick doesn't look annoyed. Oh, no, his head's dropped a little. Oh.
Looks like he might fall asleep.
Maybe he's just resting. Come on, Nick. He doesn't look.
It looks like he was shaking his head. But Troshki's towed. Madsson, come on, Nick. Get out of the pits, man. What are you doing? Is this all 4 tyres or something else, Nick? I think Nick may have messed it up.
Yeah, he's holding his gloves on. No.
Oh, man. Oh, Nick. Oh, dear.
I bet we would not want it. He would be upset to find out now that Tarosky's also towed. Because he was sitting behind Tarosky at one point, you realise?
Yeah, Tarosky was second, wasn't he? Smith's now up to 3rd. Oh, man. So this was Kraft initially.
All right,
so Kraft has nailed this, and Madsson hasn't.
Whoa. Yeah, so I didn't even know you could go that far. I thought that would be a penalty. Penalty? Why am I saying that in American? Penalty?
Penalty?
A penalty. I assumed that would be a penalty. But yeah, I didn't know you could run it that tight. So, yeah, in all that drama, unfortunately, Nick Marsden did have to serve a 40-second entry penalty.
Yeah,
that brings us up to... I don't want to remember how many drivers. Is it 4 now?
Okay, Dawson's all right. Smith's all right. Valencia's all right. They've nailed it. They're fine.
It's about time.
No, all 4 tyres. It's still only Seacrow who's taken all 4 tyres.
So you have to be careful on the exit. The guy who painted the pit exit line, he had a very heavy night the night before, and the line wiggles. And unfortunately, if you cross any part of the wiggle, you get a black flag.
So Philip Kraft, with that early pit stop, he has been able to keep that P3. He was ahead of Smith and Kraft and Daniel Kraft.
Wow, that pit stop time.
Yeah, so Philip Kraft has... Apologies, Philip Kraft only pits a couple of laps ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's jumped all of them. So I guess Philip Kraft took no tyres because he did 11.6. Maybe the others with 15 took 2 tyres, and that's why they were held up.
That's just accurate. I say the accuracy is best on fuel. Yeah, it's just all fuel. He's just gone full fuel attack. QT pit stop 14 seconds away nicely. Very good pit stop. Or Philip Kraft's going to box on white flag. Or that. There you go, that white line there that QT got very close to. You've got to be careful. He didn't nearly cross it, but you have to be careful.
Yeah.
It wiggles.
Oh, something's happened to Smith. I'm seeing the gaps. I think it's just because Marteau pitted and it's messing up my timing screen.
Mine's catching up as well.
Yeah, so it's Marteau leading Dawson. Everyone's pitted now bar Daniel Kraft. Kraft leading it very, very long. Frankly, no disrespect to Daniel, forgot he was a nose. He's had a bit of a mare right from the start. He will come out of the pits though, Kraft. Not that much lower. He will come out in 9th place overall, ahead of Hutchinson.
Yeah, you're seeing the Acura's fuel advantage again. Not only has it got the quickest pit time, but we've also now it's got the longest running in the race. So it does have that. It seems to always have a fuel advantage. The only other thing it's bad on is everything else. That's no, it's good in medium. Yeah, it is. It's good in high-speed corners, medium-speed corners.
A bit of a setback for Van Helden. Just seeing that pop up on our screen for the teams championship, by the way, in the MDHs. In case we didn't make it clear earlier on, it's over because Effect Simulations, they had 3 drivers for this race, but 2 of them are out. And if you don't finish within, I think, 6 laps of the race lead, you don't get any points. And both Cullen and Busby are 10 and 16 laps behind, respectively. They have still got Joshua Wilson out there in 10th place, but Wilson would be scoring enough points. I don't think even if he finished in 3rd place, he would get enough points.
Effect had this, didn't they? If Busby didn't need to go forward, he just needed to maintain. And with Joshua moving up, I think they had this by 3 points.
Yeah, they only needed like 6th and 10th.
Yeah.
That would have been enough. Ooh, Kraft. Oh, Kraft is really low. Wait, is Kraft going to the end? Why is he lifting and coasting that much? I don't think he's pitted yet. It's Kraft. Is he going to try to do a 0 stop?
No way.
I mean,
not
that was a huge lift, though. Maybe he was letting someone go?
Maybe Valencia, yeah. But
no, I mean, that's another lift there, albeit he's late on the brakes afterwards. I mean, I think Kraft might be doing a 0 stop here.
An hour? It's a big ask.
Is it?
Right, some replays for it. Swarovski, what happened? Here we go, the left pull.
Ah, there you go.
That, the curse of the commentator, that is what I saw 4 or 5 times this week. So you get your 2 tyres where they're meant to be, and actually this is perfect, but the problem is if you, yeah, I don't understand it. If you maintain, and this is Madston.
Oh, he's had a slide. He's nowhere near it. He's nowhere near it, is Nick.
Oh, no.
I mean, just do another lap. You got to do another lap at that point. I don't think he was pushing it on fuel. Maybe he was pushing it on fuel.
This is the thing I mentioned. If you've been out on track for ages and your car just doesn't have the fronts.
Boo.
Kraft is in.
Honestly, Daniel, you're not fighting for that much right now. Should have just... There were 4.5 seconds. We needed very little fuel. But he did need some fuel. Should have just stayed out there, Daniel. Ran out of fuel. Not do a 0 stop. You'd still be classified, man.
So what do you think of that left pull? A bug? Because you saw what I mean, that you're running 2 tyres on the asphalt and 2 tyres up. And where does the left come from? Like, you're still up there. And all of a sudden, before you bump off of the curb, I saw it 4 or 5 times in replays. And in my race, guy in front of me, just... I thought he had wheel failure because he was driving perfectly fast, 5-6K driver. Bam, into the wall.
Is it the fact that it's the right side tyres have got more grip than the left side tyres, so it's going to hook the car to the left?
Maybe, but it's so sudden. Like, even with a direct drive and all that, you know, like, I don't know. Didn't happen to me, but... Yeah.
So Hutchinson wasn't ahead of Kraft, so Kraft did the shortest pit stop of the race. Probably shortest pit stop of the season, actually. And has stayed ahead of Hutchinson. He's 8 seconds behind Zaffoli. He's not going to catch that in 6 minutes. So the battles which could still change. Dawson only 1.5 seconds ahead of Kraft, but was 0.2 of a second past that last time around. Smith 1.4 seconds behind Kraft. He was 0.2 of a second faster than Kraft that last time around. So he could catch this one. Could Smith. I make my prophecy of him getting a podium come to life. Valencia and Curry, everyone behind, not that close. And Fortin looking like he's going to win the LMP3s, 4.5 seconds ahead of Sedgley, delivering on the pace that he demonstrated in qualifying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this has been a good climb from Philip Kraft. Darren Smith on the hump back. We know Valencia's quick, but it's still almost 5 seconds Joshua Wilson's got a miracle ahead, but Hutchinson and Daniel Craft are quite close to each other, so still 12 seconds with, what, 5-6 minutes to go is asking too much. Shame to choose Tarosky in the way we did, but he's got the championship for ARL locked up, and there's nothing he could have done about the pro, like the overall with QT running first. Wait, is he 20 seconds? Oh, of course, Dawson had the moment, didn't he? Had the spin. I was wondering where 20-second gap came from.
Yeah, I think 15 of that coming from the spin is a fair assessment.
So not long to go. So as long as everyone got the right amount of fuel. The closest battle we've got out there, well, is the Hutchinson Craft, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, Craft's pulling away though from Hutchinson.
Yeah.
So Smith was catching up to Craft, but he lost half a second in the first sector of this lap to Smith.
Yeah, good
so
spot.
That's quite a setback for Aaron.
Aaron definitely knows how to get the moves done here, though. He seems to be able to overtake very quickly. Oh, he's in the caddy. There you go. Okay.
And he did collide with Craft earlier on in the race.
Yes.
So, and then they were bouncing very close. I think the second incident that Smith had, I don't think they collided, but they came very close later on as well. There is the red car chasing down the orange car. If it weren't for that mistake, Smith, he'd be right in play. But like I say, he lost half a second through turn 1 earlier on in this lap, and it's really set him back. A quick shout out, by the way, to Apex Racing Academy, sponsoring this series, and of course some of these championship winners and championship in the top 3 will get some Apex Racing Academy subscriptions. So big thanks to them for providing those prizes. Of course, Apex Racing Academy providing data packs designed by some of the best drivers in iRacing. And they use data packs including their track guides and setups and much, much more. So do go to apexracingac.com in order to check it out and get faster, not just in these LMDH cars, but GT3s, touring cars, single-seaters, rallycross cars, NASCAR, and many others. Hutchinson, by the way, leading the AMS. I don't think we've really mentioned that, but of course Tarosky went out, and Hutchinson, I believe, and this is something that I meant to check earlier on, I believe this will be his first win in the AMS this season. He's had a second, a third, a fifth, a second, an eighth, a second, and a second. Wow. So it's high time that he won a race. In fact, it's only been Tarosky and Ferrari winning races in the AMS so far this season. Tarosky with 6 of them, Ferrari with 2, and Hutchinson will take 1. And it might be enough for Hutchinson. I think Hutchinson will still fall just short of beating Ferrari in the championship, but not too far short. He will finish in a strong 3rd place for Hutchinson in the title.
When was the last time we saw the top 8 in LMDH will actually be pros? And that's more of a testament to the AMS than the pros, that like how well they've performed. But yeah, the top 8 are all pros.
What happened to Ferrari earlier on? I can't about that one. Was that a turn 1 spin? One of the mini ones.
Was he one of the bottom outs?
He had one of the pit entries. Had a 55-second pit stop.
Oh, there you go. He was one of those, was he?
He is now, if it weren't for that, he would be in 7th ahead of Zaffoli. The guy who probably got costed by a lot was Madsen.
Yeah.
He would now be around Segro range.
If Madsen hadn't had the spin and the pit entry, he would be arguably 1 second ahead of Dawson. Because Dawson lost 20 seconds. Madsen was... Well, no, right. He'd be behind Dawson.
I think he'd be around Craft, Smith and Valencia, somewhere amongst those guys with Madsen.
Right, so is this the white flag coming up?
Yes. Maybe. White flag next time round, isn't it? Yeah. We've got to be careful on fuel, actually, these guys, because they're only going to make the extra lap by about 10 seconds. Hopefully these other guys have prepared for that.
Yeah, IMSA here this week has been tricky. The pace of the LMDH leader has dictated whether the lap... I know it always does. I mean, it's just a high tipping point here at this track this week. It's just close to the extra lap or not. So you have to make that decision when you fly into the pit road, whether you're going to risk it or safe it.
Even less than 10 seconds. 8 seconds across the line. White flag, final lap of the season.
Final lap of the season, well said.
Smith has caught Kraft. This is more like it. Personal best first sector. 3/10 faster second sector. Oh, Kraft hasn't got enough fuel. Kraft has had to come back to the pits. Thought someone might be struggling.
I called it, pitting on white flag. I said Kraft's going to pit on white flag. 11 seconds, mate. Where did that come from? Yeah, but you was right, though. 8 seconds. Had QT just, you know, it was so close to the extra lap.
It might be close between Kraft and Zoffoli. Zoffoli's just coming around the final corner. That was more fuel than he needed to take Kraft. 4 seconds. Here comes Zoffoli, powering across the line. I think Zoffoli's going to get this. Kraft's way ahead. Kraft's all right. He is all right. He will stay in 6th position, but Valencia and Seago get a free position. So too does Smith, and Smith does get into the podiums for the first time in this race.
Yeah, very impressive. That was close with Smith could have clipped him on the rear there because he would not be expecting him to pit.
And here is our race winner, and well, it was already confirmed before this, but this is a nice way to finish it. For the 6th time Apex Racing League champion, Kia Thiago Marto. It is back-to-back championships in the LMDH class as well in Apex Racing League, along with his Apex Racing League Endurance Championship as well. In the LMDH category. So
Remy Fontanes picked up the win here. Very dominant display. Completely outclassed Sedgley. Fuel,
absolutely.
pit stop, average pace.
And Dawson finishing 2nd place there, getting the points that he needs for Race Clutch to win the team's championship in the LMDH. And Smith, after an up-and-down race, a race where he wasn't very happy for the vast majority of it, at the end of it, delighted.
Oh, that was what that was. Yes, definitely. I mean, even his web camera could sense his energy and was stuttering. But yeah, a great end to the race again for Smith.
Yeah.
Very good end to the race for Smith.
He lost, I think, 15 seconds in the early stages. He would have probably been within 10 seconds of Marteau had he not had the instance early on and had he qualified well. But good points for him. Might get 3rd place as well in the championship. I'll have to calculate the points very soon. The rest of the drivers coming across the line. Yeah, nice work from everyone.
Yeah, I mean, Dawson had a dominant display there in P2, but I honestly think Chorosky, Smith, and
Kraft as well, Philip Kraft.
Yeah, I think Dawson could have been beat here, but you know, Dawson only made 1 mistake, and so did the rest of them. So it's even in the end. Great race. Oh, someone is being pushed round.
Is that Marteau out of fuel? I think that is. I think that's Marteau maybe at the front. Smith is at the back.
So is that, yeah, Smith, Dawson, Marteau. Marteau's doing a victory lap.
We will go to a couple of adverts and then we will be back with you in the studio to have a chat with some of our race winners and hopefully the champions as well, and yeah, summarise this season as well. Welcome back to the Apex Racing TV esports studio. We are going to have a chat with a few of our drivers to round out this season. But I really enjoyed that race. I know it was a smaller field, David, but That was one of my favourite races of the season, I must say. I think maybe the funniest race of the season.
Yeah, it was easy to commentate. No, it was a good race. It was tight. Yeah, I mean, Marteau, completely another level. Because, yeah, Dawson only made one mistake, but the mistake was huge. 15, 20 seconds at most tracks. It's going to cost you a lot of positions. Here, with just the technical nature of it, thank for God for him, only cost him one. Trotsky had a similar mistake, but paid the full price for it. Smith had the moment. Everyone had a moment, but QT, obviously Madston had the incident and the pit penalty. But yeah, QT, season champion, race winner, and star of the race, that race. And Fortan, obviously, LMP3. I know there was less of them, but he deserved that win.
Let's have a look at the results from the race then. There was Marteau at the top, fairly comfortable in the end, but he was pushed by Dawson, and we shouldn't forget that 5,000 so a second as well, the difference in qualifying. There was Smith, and some exciting news as well for Smith in the championship after that rounds, which we'll go through in a bit. Valencia, a bit of a quiet fourth place, but I think he was one of the few drivers who didn't make a mistake. Well done to him. Segro taking all 4 tyres, didn't really work out for him in the end. There was Kraft, who took a late pit stop. Zafoli, Kraft, Hutchinson, Wilson in 10th. Hutchinson, of course, top of the AMS in all of that. Madsen, Ferrari, Van Helden. Turoshki, Fortan was top of the LMP3s ahead of Sedgley and Schwab. And Schwab did retire, and so too did Cullen and Busby. Awful nights for effect simulations. So I'm trying to think. No, we'll go through the interviews, and I think as we go through the interviews, we'll reveal the championship results. Let's have a chat with our championship winner first in the LMDH category, LMDH Pro category. It is Kia Tiago Marteau, who has got the wonderful Tim Cox sat in this studio as his profile picture in Discord. I very much approve of that one, QT. Congratulations, another race victory and another championship. Is that 6 now in Apex Racing League?
Oh yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, I think it's 6. Yeah, quite a number, isn't it?
It's impressive, catching Schumacher.
It's 3 times more than anyone else. It's impressive stuff. Well, let's first talk about tonight. What a qualifying! I mean, that must have been one of the most fun qualifyings you've had, certainly this season and maybe ever, because you and Dawson, I mean, 11 thousandths in the first run and 5 thousandths in the second.
Yeah, it was a bit close. Yeah, nice qualifying from the both of us. It was a bit tricky for me because I came into this round like not prepared at all. I was focusing on BMW Sim Cup throughout this whole week, so I was like learning the track in qualifying and in practice and even in the first race stint. But yeah, I'm happy I was able to produce this lap. Wasn't bad at all, I think.
And what would you say has been this change in the middle part of the season? Because I think that's now 3 consecutive 1-2s for you and Angie. Has something changed in the last few rounds which have been enabled you to do this? Because obviously the first half of the season, you guys are being challenged a lot. The second half, it's been a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, well, they let me live the first lap, the second half of the season, so I'm grateful for that. And yeah, I think the pace was better the second half. Of course, Road Atlanta, I had the best pace. It was my best track. But yeah, I wasn't able to do the first lap there, of course. But despite that, yeah, I think the second half of the season was pretty strong from us. And yeah, I'm happy with how we did it and how it ended.
And you have, we can announce that you have won the Teams Championship as well. You lost the Teams Championship lead, I think, back at Spa in round 2, and you've been behind this entire time, and you've been able to overhaul effect simulations at the last hurdle. That must mean a lot to you guys, and especially as a squad of 2 beating a squad of 3.
Yeah, well, lovely. Yeah, we were already calculating in the race because we obviously saw Paul Busby leaving the session. Very unfortunate to him. I don't know what happened, but he wasn't happy at the start already with the track and everything. But yeah, that's very lovely, and yeah, pretty happy with that. I think Andy will also be happy with that.
He should definitely be. So he was very significant in that effort. And yeah, of course, for yourself, QT, I mean, I know that you like these LMDHs a lot. Is it going to be more LMDH action for you in the future, or have you got lined up for over the next few months in sim racing?
Yeah, I will obviously continue with LMDH. I think it's my most comfortable car yet on iRacing. I will be doing, like I said, BMW Sim Cup last round coming Sunday, and I will help the team with preparations for IMSA esports. I've been pretty busy with that as well, and that of course costed me some preparation time for ARL and midweek farming as well. We were just really busy with that, and we'll keep my focus on that, and we'll see what comes further.
Awesome stuff. Well, congratulations, QT. It's another title for yourself, another 2 titles, really. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Of course, as usual, shout out to you guys for organizing this all, the broadcasts and the league organization. It's been for the past 3 years, I think. It's been a pleasure racing in ARL leagues. Shout out to my teammate Andy for the amazing performances, the rounds he witnessed. Of course, he had some other priorities which were more important to him, which I completely accept. And shout out to my team Race Clutch for trusting in us and letting us race for them.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming up and having a chat with us, QT, and hope to see you back very soon.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Thiago Marteau there, Porsche Cup champion, 2-time F3 champion, 2-time prototype champion, and endurance series champion.
I'm clapping you though. Well done for him.
I just remembered he won a Porsche Cup title. I was thinking, where's that 6th one? But yeah, he won Porsche Cups as well in the AMs.
Schumacher, watch out.
Yeah. Hopefully he sticks with it. I mean, I think that's now. I think he's only entered like 7 series,
Awesome.
and he's won 6 of them, I think. So
Winners win, right?
he's a very good driver. Who would you like to have a chat with?
I would like to chat with Chorosky. Good season, tough race. Let me drag him in. Oh, you've done it. Chorosky, welcome. How you doing?
Hello. Good. Good.
Obviously, congratulations on the season. I think we can confirm you are the.
Oh, he absolutely is.
Yeah, I mean, we can. You won the. Is it the Pro-Am or they got
The AM.
The AM. But then again, mate, you drove like a pro all season. And obviously, congratulations. A really well drove season. Very consistent. Good strategies. Obviously, let's talk about the sausage curb. Sam was asking me a few questions about the entries and exit, a few of the corners, and I brought up that 5 times this week I've seen cars run 2 tyres on the exit 1 sausage curb, and for some reason it just yanked them left quite violently into the wall. The only one we saw happen to you was yourself. Was it a surprise? Was it something you was aware of?
I was aware of it because I did it in practice, and in the beginning of the race I was like, please just don't do this. All the other corners you run wide a bit, you're in the gravel, whatever. But here, the one sausage curb that was really dangerous was turn 1, and unfortunately I just didn't pay attention towards the end, and it caught me out. I was hoping it would spin me right, but it just yanked me left so hard into the wall that I couldn't react.
It looks like it happens so quickly as well. It's not like a reaction to, even if you can't react quick enough, it's just over, correct?
Yeah, it's like that, yeah.
So how's your season gone? You must be happy. Obviously, we've seen you, I'm going to say it, we've seen you grow throughout the season, not just your rating, but your level of consistency and confidence. Earlier on the season, you was more happy to follow and save fuel, whereas now we get to see you making moves, being a bit more aggressive in a good way. How do you think your season's progressed?
I think altogether, like, the racecraft has been improving, like fuel saving. I watched the streams back, and you're always talking about saving fuel. And in the first few races, I didn't do it, but then I got more and more comfortable with it. Also, like, the pace increased, so I could have a bit of margin in the braking zones. And I think it was Road America that I really got it down. I overtook, I think it was Philip Kraft in the pits, which was like an unbelievable thing for me. I usually lost on pit stops. So I think I learned a lot in that, and I think my quality pace has improved throughout the season. So yeah, I'm really
Yeah,
happy.
100%. Well, I saw you beat. Was it Road America where you beat me? Was it? You wished me good luck in chat, and then you went on to slap me. It was Road America, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I watched your stream back, and you said like, "Oh, I'm just gonna outfuel save him," and it didn't happen. So,
Oh, because you didn't used to fuel save, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
yeah,
yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah,
I really
that's
enjoyed that.
that's when it kind
No.
of flipped that I could do it.
Brilliant. Obviously, coming back for more, you would. I'm 100% certain you're going to be pro from now on. There's no way you could hide in an Apex Racing
Yeah.
League as an AM. No, yeah, Sam shaking.
Yeah, not anymore. No. I would be back as soon as there's a new season.
Yep.
Yeah, I've loved it.
Brilliant, mate. Yeah, congratulations again. It's been epic to watch and commentate on you. Does anyone like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just everyone who participated. There was a bit less today, but I think it's been a good season. So everyone who signed up and came to race.
Excellent. All right, lovely chatting with me, mate. Congratulations, commiserations on the race, but yeah, congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Blaszczykowski, who was another driver. We knew he'd won the title going into this round, and not too many points added to his total today, but he did finish second place in the overall
really?
THs, so only behind Marteau. So that's very
Wow.
impressive. However, the next man we'll talk to, I can confirm. Well, I'll say it to him during the Discord. Aaron Smith joins us now. Aaron, have you seen the points?
I can guess. I'm guessing I somehow clinched P2. Somehow.
You would be. Hang on, I'm just checking this 100% because I think I knew the result, but I just want to make sure that it has gone correctly. Oh, now I'm getting very confused with the points. I may need to reload these. Apologies, Aaron. I thought I had the points, but now it's saying contradictory things. I'm very confused.
I have a question for your. I've got a question for Aaron while you look.
I've got
Go
it
on.
now. I've got it now.
Got it.
Really confusing, Aaron, because congratulations, you have got second place in the
Yeah.
in the Drivers' Championship. I accidentally clicked on a web page which was the results earlier on, and I thought, oh dear, I don't want to mislead Aaron here and cause an absolute travesty on stream. But yeah, congratulations. Action-packed race, eh? I mean, from start to finish, it was all going on.
Yeah, I mean that's possibly the best drive I've done this season. Like better than Sebring where I could have won, but today, like when I tell you I didn't save fuel at all, I was doing the exact opposite of saving fuel. I think I was using like 2.4 liters a lap. I was pushing hard every single lap because like after lap 1 I was like 15 seconds behind everyone else, and I knew that if I fuel saved, sure I'd gain time in the pit stops, but ultimately I don't think this track is that heavy like difference on fuel. And the battle at the end with Philip kind of showed that. He was I think 3 seconds ahead of me at one point, and yeah, knocked that down to about half a second before I think he nearly ran out of fuel. But yeah, that was an entertaining race, I'm guessing, for everyone because so much was going on. And yeah, all my rivals had bad races, and I'm exhausted. I'm probably gonna go for a shower off this race, but oh my god, I'm so happy with that.
I think you have earned it. When you look forwards now, I mean, I don't believe you've raced the LMDHs that much before this season. Do you think this is a car that you're gonna go all in on for the future?
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, I think this year before this season, like this prototype season, I'd done about 10 officials this year. Because I think we were talking about it when we did F3. I just kind of lost interest in officials, and then this series popped up. Thought, why not? I'll give it a go. Realized I quite like it, and I'm kind of fast. So, yeah, I think going forward, this is a car I'm going to be driving a lot. Just the prototypes in general. Hopefully next season the BOP is a bit closer, so we can have a lot better battles. Because, yeah, this season it hasn't been amazing. It's basically been Cadillac and BMW a little bit behind, but. Yeah, this is definitely a car that I'm going to be doing a lot moving forward, and hopefully I'll see the likes of David in some officials.
That would be nice.
Exactly.
Yeah, you look fast, mate. You look very fast. I have one question to steal your interview away. I have a qualifying question. I saw many Italian hand gestures. We had you on camera the whole time. What was it? Was it a fuel saving lap in front of you, the tail end of a fuel saving lap, and you got caught onto it? What happened?
Well, I mean, admittedly,
Now you're calmer.
Yeah, I get quite hot-headed when I drive, and then immediately after the race ends, I'm like calm. It's really weird, but yeah, like during qualifying, I think I was following Wilson, and he went on the gravel. And as you probably know, the gravel, if you even touch it slightly, it's basically just a slowdown. It costs him like half a second. And before the final corner, I was on a really good lap, and he was lifting off, and then didn't let me through into the final corner, and I was quite annoyed because I think the lap I was on would have put me like P3 or something. So yeah, it was a bit frustrating. Yeah, and it kind of compromised the rest of my qualifying. I still tried my best, qualified P6, and then yeah, had to claw my way through the rest of the field. But yeah, it was an entertaining race, but a bit of a frustrating qualifying. But I'm more than made up for it.
Yeah, I think you made the right call. I'm always pro fuel saving, but to be honest, I think everyone but QT made a mistake, and you pushing without a mistake meant you gained an absolute heap of position. So it was definitely the right call.
Yeah, I did take tyres. In the end, I was sort of debating whether I should or shouldn't. I took both rears in the end, which I think was definitely the right choice. Because yeah, traction around here is really key with these low speed corners. And yeah, especially in officials, fuel saving didn't really gain you that much time compared to just if you pushed. So I kind of took that knowledge with me, and yeah, ended up gaining a lot of time, and I have absolutely no regrets, and can't wait for next season now.
Excellent.
Excellent stuff. And yeah, I would say, Aaron, if you do turn up next season, then your webcam must be a permanent fixture, because it was very, very entertaining. We could have watched that all day long. So yes, a really, really good insight. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Marteau mainly. He's just helped me throughout this entire season. He's been a great friend. He's just helped me so much get a grip with this car. Apex, both Academy and TV. TV, of course, for providing amazing coverage of these leagues. And Academy, I've been using their setups the whole season, and they've been pretty good. So yeah, you guys do an amazing job, and I can't wait.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you on Sunday, right? For
yes.
For the
Can't
transfer.
wait for that.
I'll be 5 hours in. I will be a broken man by the time you speak to me for that one.
I'll make you even more broken, don't worry.
Yeah.
It'll be so much worse when I join. I think I'm in for about 4 hours, so that's gonna be fun.
Okay. Yeah. That'll be a fun broadcast.
And I'll be driving.
And you'll be driving.
Yeah.
Winning. You'll be winning.
No, driving. Fuel saving.
Fuel saving.
Me and Sam get to criticize David for the entirety of the race.
Oh,
That's gonna
God.
be fun.
Well, thank you for coming up, Aaron. Congratulations on the second place in the championship, and see you very soon.
Thank you guys, and see you whenever.
Ciao.
Aaron Smith there. Then we got one time for a little bit of a quick interview. Nick Madsen.
Yep.
Is there.
Let's make it happen. Hey, Nick, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Hello guys, I'm not good.
Yeah, obviously congratulations on a good season. Been really impressed with your driving. Obviously today, the pit entry line.
Yeah, what a shame. I think I just threw away my overall P2 today. Yeah, I went down in my official iRacing license, and you get a lot of experience during a week, an iRacing week. And since I didn't have any race here at IMSA, I was you gain a lot of experience during that week, which curb to hit, which curb not to hit, and stuff like that. I made a spin on the exit of turn 2 on the south edge curb, and pit entry.
We saw your head drop in pit entry, and we honestly felt for you. It was, because obviously it was at a time as well. Tarosky had just towed. Andrew Dawson had just, a few laps prior, had made a huge mistake, cost himself 20 seconds. So, you had the opportunity for P2 at this point in time when you crossed the line. So, yeah, we was gutted to see it happen. Then when your head completely dropped into the gloves, we knew. Yeah. It was sad to see. Yeah, the exit of 2 and the pit stop line were actually the two most common issues that most of the drivers had, to be honest. Probably almost 50% of the field, I'm going to guess, that had either a spin on turn 2 and or the pit line. Unfortunately, yeah, you had them both. But yeah, season overall, I think you've done very well. I can confirm you finished 4th overall.
Yeah, I think still it's a little bit more than expected. I didn't expect anything going into this championship. Driving this car for the first week in the calendar, and yeah, just gaining experience race by race, and even win a race in this season was amazing. So yeah, but a P2 overall would have been yeah, too good to be true. So I'll take P4.
Yeah, for sure. It was close, it was tight, and there was some really stiff competition, so you should hold your head high. Is it a car you're going to stick out? I mean, you should. This is. I'm hoping you say yes, but is it a car you're going to be sticking out?
Yeah, it's really difficult to say because during the season, I think I really think that many drivers had a big swing in their performance, especially myself. Really struggling to get into top 10 the first 2 races, and to win the 3rd race was yeah. I just showed myself that somehow I can do it, but yeah, too big lack of experience during the season. Yeah, too many bad results, too many mistakes, and yeah, it's just in the end all about experience. So, but yeah, I love driving this car. It's really funny.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a fantastic car. Yeah, great season overall, mate. I was watching you do your thing. I think you definitely progressed as the season went on. We all saw that. And yeah, the win as well in a very, very tough crowd. So yes, congratulations on a good season. And yeah, congratulations on a P4. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, you guys always for great broadcast, and yeah, great community, great everything. I'm now in Porsche Cup, which also is a really, really difficult field this season. So yeah, let's see what happens, and see you next time.
Yep, good luck with that. Cheers, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, Nick Madsen mentioning he won a race earlier on this season, also former Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup champion, and yeah, will be a threat, I'm sure, in that series, which has round 2 coming up on Tuesday for that. But yeah, how are your thoughts? This is the first series you commentated on, David. It's difficult to imagine that you were a rookie, a bare 9 weeks ago. How do you feel at the end of it?
The frustrating thing, I've learnt all their names. I know the name of the series, like all these, and where to sit, how to speak, and it's over. So yep. I'm looking forward to being back for the GT. I assume I'm doing, GT3.
We'll see. We'll see about that one.
Well, I'm waiting for the letter.
Yeah, we'll do some evaluations,
some
God. Tick boxing, marks out of 10.
All right, fine.
I think you got a good chance though.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I think you've done.
No, I've really enjoyed it. It's been fun co-commentating, and it's been a great group of guys to watch and see how they progress, because we did see it. It's only 9 weeks, but definitely saw some people progress. Definitely. It's been fun. I think everyone should practice their pit stops. Just throwing it out there. And yeah, a little bit calmer. Like, these races are long. People like Nick mentioned the experience you build from doing IMSAs. Well, even there, they're only 45 compared. Right, so these guys, I think, a little bit calmer, practice pit stops, and I think we're on for a mega another season.
Definitely, yeah. Apex Racing League prototypes will return eventually. Of course, as David was saying, the next GJ broadcast will start in a couple of weeks' time. The Apex Racing League GT3 trophy, already half the entries filled for that, so you'll need to get signed up over apexracingleague.com if you want to be on the grid for that event, and that will be starting up in 2 weeks' time. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel so you can check out all of Apex Racing TV's future broadcasts. We've got Weekend Warriors with the Spec Racer Fords and the Formula Fords on Sunday. We've got Radicals going on, I think, right now. We've got that charity broadcast going on Sunday as well. That's a mammoth 8-hour broadcast, I believe. There's also Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup on Tuesday. That'll be from the Nordschleife, which will be very fun to watch, and many other broadcasts. Also check out the Apex Racing League and Apex Racing TV social media pages. And of course, thanks to our sponsors, Virtual Racing School, Apex Racing Academy, and SDK Gaming for sponsoring the broadcast. But for the final time for this season, I have been Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me has been David Sampson. You've been watching the Apex Racing League Prototype Championship, and we hope to see you back very soon.
Ciao, ciao.